Afternoon, everybody, and we just wrapped up day 22 of the contested case hearings going on in Hilo. And usually I'm talking to our TMT attorney, Doug Singh, but we have a special guest today,
Doug replacement.
Doug Replacement. His name is Paul Coleman. He is an astrophysicist at the Institute for Astronomy. Did I get that right? At the
Yes, you did.
University of
Yes,
Hawaii.
you
Um, Paul, can you kind of just explain your role with the organization?
did. I was actually hired as a research scientist, a research astrophysicist, but I've changed to a specialist. So I'm actually just an astrophysicist. I work on things that I'm interested in and also teaching and public outreach.
Now you're here today because you testified at the contested case hearings in support of the TMT project. Can you talk about a little about what you spoke about today?
Well, I just wanted to point out that being a Hawaiian and being a scientist, they're not necessarily at odds with each other, and I'm completely in favor of the TMT because it represents the newest, best telescope to come up in the next 30 years. And the University of Hawaii Institute for Astronomy were already at the top of the game as far as being very influential and providing fantastic results. And so this will certainly ensure that we remain at the top for the next 20 or 30 years.
You gave a great analogy about connecting astronomy with ancient Hawaiians who navigated here. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, in a real sense, this is a complete coming back around to where we began from, because we were Hawaiians were fantastic scientists and astronomers, and the real defining characteristic of every single Hawaiian out there is that some ancestor of theirs got in a canoe and made the 30-day voyage from South Polynesia to Hawaii, and the person who led them in that canoe was an astronomer. So we completely dominated astronomy as an indigenous people, and now we're coming back to the same thing. So it would be great to get our kids involved in this, and perhaps repeat the thing that I've done and become astronomers as well.
And improving local students' education wise.
Yes, and so a great deal of what we do is to actually continue to open pathways for students so that they can more easily do what took me almost 28 years to do.
You know, we have a lot of great scientists, as you mentioned, coming here, but yeah, to kind of create a homegrown program of local students in the STEM field. Yeah.
And this wasn't always one of the major thrusts of the IFA. It wasn't to create your own, grow your own, but it's become very much a reality that what we can do is we can grow our own. We can create students who are of the caliber to be able to.
I want to talk a little about your personal story. You acquired your science degrees on the mainland, various colleges and universities, and then you applied back here for some Hawaii astronomy positions, and I guess you realized it was so competitive. You took the long route. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Well, normally when people get a PhD, they're now on the job market, and so then they apply everywhere that they can. And so there were positions available at the University of Hawaii at the Institute for Astronomy, but I was not ideally suited for them, but I was really stretching because I wanted to come back home. And so that didn't work out, but I ended up getting a position in the Netherlands for 2 years, which then became 3 years, which then became 8 years. Continued applying for jobs. I was in the Netherlands. Then from the Netherlands, I went to I went then to New Mexico. Then from New Mexico to Yale. I was a visiting associate professor there. And then from Yale, I went to Puerto Rico, and finally.
So you took basically the long road
I went
around the globe
the
to get
long
back
way,
to Hawaii.
the long way back.
But I guess my next question is, what makes Hawaii so competitive? I guess when you have all these best scientists and astronomers and engineers here in the field because of the cutting edge technology.
It's both technology, but it's also the fact that Mauna Kea is such a fantastic place to do astronomy because it's a shield volcano, so the wind blows over it in nice laminar flow. That means the stars don't twinkle as much. It's just high altitude, low water vapor in the air. All these fantastic things that make Mauna Kea the best site in the world for astronomy. And so it's a wonderful thing that we can take advantage of that and offer this to our kids as well. That coupled with the fact that we developed almost all of the technology that's going into modern telescopes.
Yeah.
We are really ideally suited for getting a great thing like the TMT to
Yeah.
come our way.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you for taking the time today and
Sure.
testifying in support of the project. So we're going to take a break tomorrow, which is Friday, and then we'll be back for the hearings when they resume on Monday. So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.